What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, we got another big update about OP-12. The OP-12 news is coming thick and fast, and oh my word, do I love these. You know what we got today? We got both the secret rares, and actually a new super rare to boot as well. Earlier on, I showed you super rares like the Nico Robin, which I'm absolutely in love with, and the Luffy that looks really cool. Oh, and the Mihawk looks so good. And then Garp's the other one I showed you, which actually also looks kind of busted. They really matched hyper specifically with some of the leaders. Well, we got a Reiju today, which I don't think matches quite as hyper specifically with one of the new leaders. But make no mistake about it, this looks like a very nice card indeed. But first, the secret rare about which I am most excited, Bartholomew Kuma. Also, little side note here, the other secret rare is Jewelry Bonney. I love that they are the two secret rares we get in this set. Having them matched up as secret rares in a set just makes me very, very happy. And especially if you've gone through the Egghead Island arc of the manga, you'll realise why. There we go. Let's move on. Bartholomew Kuma then, what do we got? 6 cost, 7,000 power. And on play, you may trash a card from your hand, and then you put the top card of your deck on top of your life, and until your opponent's next end phase, you gain +2 cost. Remember, the +2 cost is very important for the Koala leader. Up till now, I've been showing you black Revolutionary Army characters to go along with Koala. Well, here we got a yellow Revolutionary Army, but make no mistake about it, we got 7 Warlords of the Sea, and we've got Revolutionary Army here, and it is yellow, so you can play it with Koala, and the +2 cost puts it up to an 8 cost, and remember that Koala's got that thing whereby if you've got 2 8-cost characters and Koala attacks the leader, you get to draw a card. So the +2 cost here, very important. Also, you know, the whole recovering a life thing, that's not so bad either. And sure, you do have to trash a card from your hand, but I don't really care, because you're drawing a card pretty much every turn with Koala anyway. I am totally okay with this. We've then got, during your opponent's turn, if this character is KO'd, add the top card of your deck to your life. Yeah, if anyone's paying attention here, essentially what this character does is it comes in as a 6 cost 7k. You get an extra life when you come in, and then when you go. And sure, your opponent can sit there going, ha, I'm not going to KO this character, because if I KO them, they're getting an extra life. Brilliant, I've got a 7k or higher body that I'm sitting there hitting with every turn. Of course, it is specifically a KO skill, so anything that would put this back to your hand or to the bottom of your deck will obviously work as well, which is not too shabby. That's going to be the way around it here. If you've got a trashing skill, so take something like Ben Beckman, for instance. You need to lower the power by 1,000, but as soon as you lower the power by 1,000, you can bring in Ben Beckman, KO 6k or less, which this will be at that point, and then you get this off the board without having to worry about it. Or maybe in blue decks, you're going to use Don Quixote do Flamingo to get a 7 cost off of the board, for instance. They're the kind of things people are going to be trying to use here, just to say, I want this off the board, but I don't want to KO it, because KOing it will generally go pretty badly for me. Obviously, if Doflamingo puts it back to my hand, I can just replay it and get another life when I do, but at least it's forcing me to use extra Don and all of that. So, yeah, get rid of it without KOing it is generally going to be the ideal here. This looks like a phenomenal card. I'm already excited enough about the Koala deck. And then we saw the Nico Robin that looks amazing. Now we've seen this. Decks coming together nicely, ladies and gentlemen. Decks coming together very nicely indeed. The other secret rare we've got coming in here is Jewelry Bonney. 5 cost, 6k, counter plus 1,000. And we got ourselves a blocker. Cool. Oh, it's Supernova and Bonney Pirates. You probably could have guessed that, but just to be clear, Supernova and Bonney Pirates. Every time I talk about a Bonney card, it just makes me want pizza. But then on play, if you've got 8 or more rested cards, draw 2, trash 1, and then activate a Don. That's very good. You see 2 extra cards, you end up 1 card up in hand, draw 2, trash 1, that's a +1, and you get an active Don, and you got a blocker on the board at the same time. As for the 8 or more rested cards, I mean, look, if you play this, you got 5 rested Don there. We all know Don count. So you got 5 Don rested just to begin with. You got 3 other rested cards, and all of a sudden, it's a blocker that gives you extra draw power and then activates a Don. So this is only actually really a 4 cost when you think about it. By the way, we'll have to get confirmation from the FAQ, but the way this should work is you play the card, you look at how many rested cards you've got, and if it's exactly 8, you draw 2, trash 1, then set your Don to active, i.e. if you've got exactly 8 rested cards, by the time you activate a Don and go to 7 rested cards, you've already activated the skill here. I'm pretty sure that'll be in the FAQ, these kind of things are. But it does seem pretty clear. It literally says, afterwards, set one of your Don to active, as in you draw 2, trash 1, and then you set the Don to active. So it does seem pretty clear here. That seems good to me. And this, again, this looks like a strong one. This seems like a very strong secret rare. It's a blocker, which is essentially a 4-cost 6k and draws 2 trashes, 1 on play. That sounds good to me. Doesn't really match very neatly with any of the leaders. The only green leader we've got in the set is Rowan Owazoro. That's the only actual green leader we've got coming in here. And Rowan Owazoro is all about those slash-type characters. And this is not even a slash-type character. So, sorry about that. But you know what? I'm not that upset that it doesn't match with one of the leaders, because it's just an inherently strong green card, and that sounds good to me. And then we've got Vinsmoke Reiju, which is cool, because of course I was commentating the Mulheim Regional Championship last weekend with Gavin, and we had Reiju surprising us, doing far better than expected, and now we get a new Reiju character to have a look at. Also, check out that little Easter egg in the artwork of Sanji running away carrying Luffy. I love this. This makes me happy. But what we've got is, if you have 4 or more event cards in your trash, this character gains 2,000 power and plus 5 cost. So it's a 4-cost 7k when you play, and then a 9-cost 7k on the board. This is very important because, and I've even talked about this in this video, we've got a bunch of cards out there that look to remove characters based on the cost of those characters. Well, wonderful news. This will give you protection against all of those kind of cards. This is a pretty big deal. We like this. 9 costs are hard to get off the board. Wonderful news. As long as you've got 4 event cards in your trash. And of course, it's one of those things where in the early game might be a bit annoying, but once you actually get 4 event cards in your trash, then you should be able to basically always have this active. Oh yeah, and it's a blocker. So now you've got the 9-cost thing going on to make it more difficult to remove, and you're a blocker. And generally speaking, what people really want to do with blockers is remove them with effects so they don't have to attack into them. But if you're 9-cost 7k, it's going to be kind of difficult to remove you with effects that efficiently. So the reality is your opponent is going to have to actually attack into you. But even then, you're a 7k, so they've got to go over that. This seems like a very good card. And, I mean, we do have a purple leader in the set. Obviously, we do have the aforementioned Sanji, also Doflamingo, but that's not terribly relevant here. Sanji here, there is some synergy here with Sanji, because Sanji's got that skill whereby you can Don -1 and then activate a 3-cost Straw Hat Crew event, or 3-cost or less Straw Hat Crew event, which is kind of cool. So there is that little bit of crossover there. I like this way more in a proper Reiju deck. Now, whether you're going to be playing enough event cards, that is a question. I admit that. But we do actually have Germa 66, that came around, you know, in that OP-06 set that gave us Vinsmoke Reiju. And then we got the other Germa 66 that came around in EV-02. And then we got things like Black Bug, which is a Germa event card. So I'm just saying, like, we've got some options here. And if you can get 4 event cards in your trash, this becomes a very good character. If you don't have 4 event cards in your trash, then you're just a 4-cost, 5k, counter plus 1,000 blocker. That's not terrible. Stat-wise, with blocker, that's not terrible. But if you get 4 events in your trash, and then while on board, you're a 9-cost 7k with blocker, that is very, very impressive. So there we go. We got a new Vinsmoke Reiju, 2 new secret rares, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of these in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.